As someone who appreciates slowing down and living more intentionally, I've always wanted to build a peaceful garden that brings me calm and a moment of mindfulness to start my day. Other times, the garden acts as a colorful display during the day and a cozy space with beautiful lighting that elevates the ambience at night. This video is part 2 of the balcony makeover series, where I'll be tackling the bedroom balcony. Previously, the space was completely neglected and functioned as a dumping ground for unused items from the main balcony. It has never been properly utilized since the day we moved in. Inspired by one of my past trips to Japan and this book by Sophie Walker, I decided to recreate a compact version of the Japanese garden. I then gathered inspiration from various platforms and Pinterest to see what can be applied in a high-rise balcony. While some elements such as ponds and bridges are not applicable, others such as stones, lanterns, and traditional Japanese plants can be applied in a balcony setting. The space itself has a south-facing orientation, measuring 3 by 2.6 meters, for a total of 7.8 square meters. The goal is to have a small garden with pathway that can function as a space for meditation and to practice yoga. Before I continue, I'd like to briefly thank today's sponsor, Karma. Karma is an app and Chrome extension that ensures you never miss a price drop or coupon code. Personally, I like to use Karma to organize my shopping list and make sure I'm getting the best deal for items in my project. I downloaded the Karma extension and use them extensively whenever I see an item I'd like to use for my project. You can also get notified whenever there is a sale or when an item goes back in stock. One of my favorite features is the shopping list, where I can organize items for different projects I'm working on. To ensure that I get the best possible deal, Karma scans the web for coupon codes and applies them automatically at checkout, a feature that is exclusive to the Chrome extension. You can also earn Karma Cash when you shop from select retail partners, where it will give you cash back and to a good cause of your choice. If you're looking to save money and organize your shopping list, I highly recommend checking them out. Click the link in the description box to download your free app and Chrome extension. The first step is to clear everything out and perform a deep clean. I started by cleaning the windows with a simple glass spray and Swedish dishcloth to get rid of stubborn marks and grease. Then, I used this window vacuum from Bosch to cut down on cleaning time and get a streak-free window without water residues. As we don't have water access on this balcony, I utilized a portable pressure washer and a bucket of water to clean the floor. It uses water conservatively while maintaining a high pressure to get rid of stubborn dirt and dust. Once the floor dried up, it is now time to install the floor tiles. I got these popular wooden IKEA tiles, as the stained brown provides a warm natural look that fits the Japanese wabi-sabi philosophy. Similar to other IKEA random deckings, installation is as simple as clicking the 2 tiles together and repeat the process until it covers the desired area. Instead of going with a simple rectangular pattern, I made a small L shape to mimic a stroll garden where you can discover new things as you walk down the path. Once I have the tiles laid out, I brought out the feature plant, which is a huge Japanese maple tree. Unfortunately, they were extremely root bound when we got them from the shop, so we had to repot them into a new home. I placed a layer of pebbles on the bottom to let water drain freely and topped them with some premium potting mix before moving the plant in. It took us about 2 hours to get the tree out of the nursery pot as the roots have overwhelmed the pot. Then, we simply topped them up with more potting mix and we now have a feature tree in the middle of the garden. It has a bright red new growth that fades into bronze red in the summer and orange yellow red tones during autumn. As the sun sets down, it casts a beautiful shadow on the tree foliage as it dances around with the wind blowing. The next day, I built this storage bench from IKEA, which I'll be placing in the corner of the balcony. Installation is pretty straightforward, just a couple of dowels and screws, which took me less than 15 minutes. It looks great together with the run-on decking and serves as a small storage to keep things organized. As I wanted the garden to serve as a beautiful display at night, I got the solar-powered outdoor spotlight from Amazon to light up the garden without needing an electrical outlet. I staked one of the lights in the pot to cast a shadow of the tree branches at night. I then run the wires along the ground where it will be covered with stones and into the gap of the run-on tiles to keep it out of sight. To make sure that the solar panel stays hidden while getting maximum sun exposure, I placed it behind this artificial potted plant where the strongest mid-afternoon sun hits. Before I poured in the stones, I picked up this concrete bonsai stand that looked extremely old and worn. To get an authentic Japanese vibe, I got a few packs of stones from my local hardware store that has a more natural look instead of the standard white pebbles often found near ponds or pools. Once I poured the stones, I spread them out to cover a larger surface area so I can use fewer stones and keep the weight down. On the other corner, I stacked 2 natural stepping stones and placed a Pagoda Lantern on top to add some height and visual interest. It is solar powered and made of durable lightweight resin, which makes it great to use outside on a balcony. As the feature tree is really tall, I added a medium height weeping bamboo to avoid leaving a big empty gap between the top of the tree and ground cover. The movement of bamboo against the wind is also something very relaxing to watch. With the balcony halfway completed, it is now looking so much better than before. I then proceed to add more stones to cover the remaining areas, following the same process and spreading them out evenly. For the main garden area, I decided to go with black stones to give some contrast and a more seamless look with the potted plants. In most Japanese gardens, moss is often an integral part, but it is not possible to have a soil in a high-rise balcony. Instead, I got this pack of preserved moss and a bottle of Gorilla Glue to stick the moss on top of the stones. It is waterproof and suitable for use outdoors. To apply them, I simply followed the instructions and lightly damped the surface with a spray bottle. Once the stones are slightly wet, I grabbed the glue and applied it all over the surface. It took at least 1 to 2 hours for the glue to start holding, so there's no need to rush the process. The moss lends a feeling of harmony to the garden and produces a calming quality. To style them more neatly, I took a few handfuls of stones and stick the moss individually. It took a bit of time but allows me to position it freely. I then picked up some ferns and ground covers that are native to Australia, one of which is a cushion bush called Scleranthus biflorus. I placed them in a group to cover an area like a forest floor, with a big stone just right beside it. I went with native plants that fit the Japanese garden look to ensure that they will survive in the hot summer. To complete the look, I finished the garden with a beautiful boxwood bonsai on top of the concrete stand. As the sun sets down, the sunlight beautifully hits the bonsai and the tree at an angle, forming a beautiful shadow play that evokes a feeling of calmness and tranquility. At night, the lights make way to a cozy garden that can be enjoyed from our bedroom, with a dramatic reflection of the ceramic bonsai pot and highlighting the feature tree from down below. With everything completed, it is now time to take a look at some before and after. What was previously an unused balcony that serves as a dumping ground has now been transformed into a peaceful Japanese garden where I can meditate, practice yoga, or slow down from the busyness of everyday life. This has allowed me to be more mindful and help increase my focus and productivity throughout the day. And that concludes the makeover and tour of my Japanese-inspired balcony garden. Everything shown in this video will be linked in the description below. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.